just I'm pretty happy overall with the layout here in terms of what I got where and overall makeup. I've done it again and get something that's gonna throw a wrench in the system here. So, well, the way I had it organized was we got the restaurant and entertainment kind of in this middle area of the town. In the back, we got office buildings, and we got industry on the right and left side with various factories and other industries. And then we got our train stations kind of sprinkled in here. I just saw something that I really liked and wanted to have, and well, here we go. We got a little itty bitty box here from trains.com. And well, this is of course another Menards building. I've always admired this building, see on layouts on other channels on YouTube. And it's a really cool building that Menards came out with. The detail is unparalleled, in my opinion. And when the opportunity came up to acquire one that I saw on trains.com, I just had to pull the trigger and acquire it to have it here on the layout. So it's gonna disrupt my whole floor plan here of the layout, but it's something that I just couldn't pass up. I really wanted to have it. So let's go ahead. We'll get this thing open. Try to get out of the box, and we're going to cross our fingers that during shipment it did okay and it wasn't manhandled too bad, and that everything works. We shall find out here. It's definitely got to be the biggest box I've gotten for any train or building, hands down. Let's see what we got. So far, it looks very well packaged, which is always a good sign. Oh, nice. We also have the original shipper container for this building, which is a big plus too. That's going to give me more information on the item and help protect it during its shipment across the country from Georgia to my house here in Texas. Over here in the corner, we do have one other item. Morton Salt covered hopper car. To go with my Morton Salt factory building, also by Menards. So we'll check this out as well. It'd be easier to take it out if we do it vertically here, since it is such a tall building. Alright, so here's the first box. Right, just take a look at the shipping box details here. We have on this Menards building 25 exterior LED lights for illumination. Also, we have interior illumination. 5 figures, and of course, no Menards building would be complete without Jack the German Shepherd. Built-in train tunnel, which is optional if you want to set it over the rails. I might have to do that. This building requires our 5,000 milliamp power source. Since it has quite a lot of LEDs in it, it's going to suck up a lot of juice. Here we have the photo of the building, and oh, interesting. They only made 600 of these York Hotel buildings. Wow, I'm surprised. A lot of Menards buildings make about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, but I suppose the smaller buildings are more popular as they fit on more layouts. This is such an enormous building. Well, I guess it's more of a niche market per se, but wow, I'm very surprised by that low production figure. So now I'm extra glad I bought it since they're so uncommon. Whoa. This side looks like got a little crushed, or maybe a box cutter. It was being opened up somewhere. I don't know. Hopefully the building's okay. We have an original shipping label on this shipper carton of the individual it went to in York, New York, of all places. So it's the York Hotel was sent to York, New York. But of course, this hotel is named after the York, Pennsylvania fairgrounds. And I'll show you why in a minute once we get out of the box. This was shipped February 10th, 2021. So not that long ago. This might be even more difficult than taking out of the big box from Trains. All right, this is so tall, we're going to have to set it down on the floor so I could actually manage to pull it out. This packaging here reminds me just like the Morton Salt Factory building, just how it's put in here. So I know the Morton Salt Factory was in pretty good shape when I got it, so hopefully this building was well protected from all the little bumps and drops that occurred during transit of shipment. All right, how do I pull it out without destroying? Behold the Hotel York Royale. I do see we've had some items pop off during shipment. We got this figure walking Jack the German Shepherd, I guess, and the two planter beds have all come loose, but those should be easily glued back into place. More importantly, the building itself looks to be in pretty decent shape. As long as the building survived, I don't mind if I gotta glue just a couple little figures and decorations. That's not a big deal. No major damages, so that's what I'm really happy about. I guess the next step is let's plug it in. See if it lights up. Okay. What happened? All right. We got lights. It looks beautiful. And rotating vents on the roof, also functional. Safety aerial lights are working as well. Let's go ahead and get out of the packaging. We'll give it a more closer look. Wow. It's big. Uh-oh. We got half a figure. Detachable tunnel. In our flower beds. There's the other half of a body. Okay, good. We do have gotta zoom in on this. There we got the lower half of the body here. There's our torso. So we got the full figure. So that should be pretty easy to glue back into place. And then this gentleman has two pegs in his feet. Those go there. And then Jack the German Shepherd. He did have two paws rip off, but they are there in those pegs. So we'll glue them back in place, and Jack will be back to 100%. All right, we'll get our handy dandy super glue. We'll get this thing up and running here in no time. First, we'll start with the planners. This should be pretty easy. Dab some glue here on the bottom. Put that down there. And this one as well. Center. Now for the young lady here with the bobbing torso. Fingers on this thing. And now, most importantly, Jack the German Shepherd. Other guy. The leash didn't break. And flying around in the box. Yeah. Alright. Here's how it's screwing it up. That guy. Broken leaf. There. Alright. Hold this in place for a moment so it won't topple over. Let it set. And then we're done with our repairs. Anything, I thought the flags would have snapped off or something during shipment. One always worries what could happen to these buildings before they arrive to your front door. But the building itself is in perfect shape. Perfect. All right, so now we are back to 100%. A little light dusting here. And there we have it. The gorgeous, beautiful, incredibly detailed Menards Hotel York Royale. What an incredible structure. We have over 188 windows on it, with illumination and some blacked out, showing vacancies. And these windows have blinds as well. We got that brick facade, even that old classic style, so that could work on very different layouts, modern, post-war, turn of the century, you name it. And on the roof, we have our nice little flat roof detail, our 3 rotating ventilation fans, and our little safety red caution lights. Don't need any airplanes hitting this tall building. All 4 sides are lit up with windows. And the tunnel extension here, removable. Here's the other side of the building. And back side as well, just full to the brim with windows. So wherever you throw this on your layout, it's going to look good. For those that leave the tunnel in place here, the little parking signage looks pretty nice. I mentioned this hotel is named after York, Pennsylvania, where they have the awesome TCA train show twice a year. This address, 334 Carlisle Avenue, is, of course, the address of the York Fairgrounds. Now here we have our 4 pedestrian figures plus doorman in his sharp-looking red coat. We have this nice red velvet carpet here for our guests, and gold trimmings on the door handles, doors, and the other features here. Now the lobby area of the hotel is not illuminated. That's okay, because they have quite a few other windows that are indeed illuminated. They got to fit the electronics somewhere. And of course, we got our glued back on flower beds and Jack the German Shepherd. And these flags are a nice touch as well, with the crown logo as featured on the signage here prominently on the front. Now, according to Menards specifications, this building has a width of 11 inches, depth of 11 1/4 inches, and a height of 23 inches. Although if you use that train tunnel and put it on one of your main lines, that'll reduce that depth to only 6 3/4 inches by 11 inches wide. So a very, very tiny footprint for such a massive building. So this is definitely a classy building, really nice details on it, very unique. The only thing comparable was another building Menards came out with, which was a office building of a similar size, which was the World Trade Center office with a primitive Starbucks located in the lobby. Not as fancy as the standalone Starbucks they came out with later. But that said, I think this one, hands down, is the nicest. And definitely is going to be a centerpiece of anyone's layout. So I'm going to have to maneuver some things around here to make it fit, and I will be utilizing that tunnel, have my inner loop run on through it. Yeah, for those of you wondering why I haven't done any scenery or roads or drill holes through my table here for the wiring, this is why. I keep moving things around, so until such a day as I feel things are pretty much set in stone and I'm not going to be doing a lot of rearranging, then I'll get to that part. But no, it's like musical chairs here with the buildings and arrangements. So. But you know, I guess a layout is never finished now, is it? Always a work in progress. So my first thought was putting the hotel in the back there where those 3-story office buildings are and breaking that up. Maybe having one of those on either side, but I kind of liked having them all in a row there, and just with the space, it was a little problematic. So very quickly, I abandoned that idea, and I just ended up putting it right next to the Vetter and Door Company factory. So, as that's another Menards building with a tunnel, they both are sitting over the inner loop and are in line together, same distance, so they go well next to each other in terms of that depth. And previously I had the power plant next to that door factory, and I didn't like that the power plant kind of stuck out more into the street area versus Vetter and Door, since I had that set back over the tracks. So now it's all kind of a little more in line, more or less. So yeah, I just had to move the Brandon Falls bicycle shop to the very back corner next to the little Rail King train store, and our Train World building sticking out slightly. So it's not quite flush. I could move the other 3 forward if I wanted to, but then there'd be a lot of lost space behind those buildings just due to the curvature of the track on either end of that row of buildings. So as always, tinkering, contemplating, adjusting, finessing. Options never end. So let's see, what other news here? I moved the Yingling Tavern behind Jimbo's Gym for now. The water tower I moved from my Strasbourg area to the right side of the Allentown station. That was getting a little crowded up here, and I didn't want so much of a wall of stuff here blocking view of the interior. I've also had to turn the American Materials building over the tracks there 180 degrees around, because even though this is a fairly new building, I've only had it for 2 months, if that, and in that time I've only used it for maybe 10 hours. The illumination on the other side is not working correctly. It's flashing, but it's not as bright as it should be. So here's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, I mean it's waving, but it's not as bright. So something's going on with that side. So yeah, I just flipped it around, so I got the power cable in the front now. And in other news, I also finally broke down and got a switch. So this is the first switch I have here on the layout. So since I now had 3 different sightings, I thought, well, I better do something. But at least for this inner loop one, I have a 036 switch. It's just a manual one, nothing fancy. I didn't think I was going to use the switch for the Morton Salt factory all that much. But yeah, it's nice to have them actually connected. So I had to scoot Morton Salt Factory a little closer to the inner loop, just due to where this switch kind of ends up and where this extension is going to be. So before I had it a little further out, and I had the J Tower Strasbourg squeezed between the tracks, but not enough room there for that now, so went ahead just moved J Tower to the other side of the Strasbourg passenger station. And then someday for the outer loops, I'll go ahead and get some 072 switches. So at least these can be connected as well instead of just kind of hanging out there. But 072 switches, they cost a couple more bucks. But one day we'll get them. Well, now I got perhaps the two finest buildings that Menards has put out here side by side. The Versashendor and Hotel York Royal. Great additions here to the old layout. I sincerely hope you enjoyed checking out this really cool Menards building, the Hotel York Royale. Coincidentally, the semi-annual York Train Show just concluded yesterday, as I'm filming this, the April 2024 York Train Show. So, too bad I don't live in Pennsylvania anymore. I can go easily drive over and check that out with all of its great vendors over there and seen lots of cool friends. But alas, I'll have to do for just this hotel in the meantime. Overall, I gotta say, super happy with it. Looks great here on the layout. I'm also quite relieved that it survived shipment, and thank you trains.com for packaging it very well. And to you too, FedEx, for not dropping it off the back of the truck. So, yeah, I mean, it's always looked cool in videos I've seen online, and to see it here in person and in my hands is really nice. So, really glad I was able to pick this building up here on the layouts. Well, before I leave, as always, please go ahead and give us a like on this video and subscribe to our channel. So that'll help us out with the YouTube algorithms. I do thank you subscribers that have already done so and are checking out my videos as I release them. I thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support us more here on the channel, we do have a Patreon page. So maybe run out of room for buildings at this time, but well, we could always grab some more trains and check those out as well. Well, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. We will see you in the next video. Take care.